Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves. This is episode 14 of a Let's Play series that we have going on, where we are playing as the Confederacy, a hypothetical nation in this grand strategy game that looks at the age of naval arms race from 1900 to 1925. It is 1920, and in our last episode, we finally had some peace. We had 3 years of peace, and we started building our first super dreadnought class of battleships. It has a massive main armament. It is the Lightning Dragon class. It is so named because the thing is so fast as well. It's basically the first fast battleship class, and I'm really pleased with it. We're probably going to build the rest of our Navy around those lines. The game ends in 1925, so I don't think we're going to have a ton of time to have technology outstrip this design and require us to rebuild things. So I think this will probably be the culmination of our naval technology. What I will say is we're going to go ahead and jump right back in. This was taken from a live stream from a couple of weeks ago, so this is part 14 of the Rule the Waves Confederacy series, and with that being said, let's go ahead and jump back in and resume in progress. Ladder shooting. Sure. Oh, we have no money. Immediately have to halt construction on one of these. Issue an ultimatum to who? Virgin Islands. France is sending a force. Yeah. They're unimpressed with us, and they occupied the Virgin Islands. God damn it. Japan is stealing technology from us. I don't want to lose prestige. All right. $50,000 has been collected by popular subscriptions to finance a new battleship. If I do not build a new battleship, I may become the focus of some displeasure. So all of these citizens who said we're spending too much money on battleships now want me to build a new battleship. Yeah, let's extend our alliance with the British, of course. All right, so must have 4 battleships or battle cruisers building. So we've got 3 Lightning Dragons laid down. I say we lay down a 4th. Because why the hell not? Build a new Lightning Dragon. Better than the one before. We can rebuild him. All right. And the other nice thing is that the ships are building quicker because we are no longer an underdeveloped shipbuilding industry. So now we're building 4 capital battleships, meeting those requirements. We've got $50 million in the bank. Inclined armor, sure. Never going to use it because we're already into 1920. I mean, maybe I'll use it. I don't really know how that works. The president's made an ill-considered statement about France. What's your response? Asked by a foreign journalist. Well, let's view the almanac first. So we have 3 battleships in service. The French have 8, so they outnumber us by 5. They're building 2. We're building 4. Of those 4, 2 will be done within about a year. The other 2 are about 2.5 years away. Their battle cruisers, they have 10. We have 2. So, that's a problem. They have no battleships in service. They have 1 heavy cruiser. We have 7, and I think our heavy cruisers, it's safe to say, vastly outstrip theirs. They have 13 light cruisers. We have 14. I think ours are probably, on the whole, more average than them. Or more, oh my goodness, more modern and better than the destroyers are roughly even. Minesweepers, they have a huge advantage, but that's more of sort of coastal patrol stuff. Subs, we have an advantage, an undeniable advantage. So, explain to the president it was taken out of context. We lose prestige, gain budget. I don't comment on policy issues or agree wholeheartedly with. I agree wholeheartedly with the president. I must stand firm in my support for the president. And give us the monies. Hey, improved 3-inch gun quality. Great. The Russian government's offering to sell us rights to 4-inch gun quality of 1. No. I don't want to spend money on something I'm not going to use. I always use 3-inch guns. I'm receiving much praise for building the required number of battleships. We're moving into January of 1921. The British government wants to sell us rights to 16-inch guns. We need good guns. I want those things. Oh, 16-inchers. Oh, yeah. Now I just need money to build something with them. All right. During a training exercise, an unidentified submarine has torpedoed and damaged our ship Appomattox. She will be in dry dock for 3 months. There are unfortunately no clues as to who might be behind this underhanded act. The Hawk Party is demanding immediate action. What do you recommend? Take it to the court in The Hague, increase tensions but lose prestige, issue orders to sink any unidentified submarines close to our territorial waters. That'll increase tensions a lot. There's no doubt in my mind that this has been the work of France, which undoubtedly means we're about to enter the Third Confederate French War. Now, the French still are building 2 more battleships. We're building 4. They have 8, so they'll outclass our battleships. They'll massively outclass our battle cruisers. They will be behind in heavy cruisers, which don't matter as much. They will be on par with light cruisers, roughly ahead of us in destroyers, and not that far behind on submarine. Do we want to go to war with France again? What do we want to do, folks? We've got 4 years left in this game. It ends in 1925. I mean, I think you can play past that. But this is, we can sort of slide quietly by. We can just blame I mean, there's a risk that just taking it to The Hague would result in war. The U.S. might not go to war with us quite yet. I'm not quite sure. The double tensions doesn't always go to war, but blaming them for attacking your ship certainly can lead to war. I think this is our best action. So we are now at war with France. Convoy defense. The enemy has 4 dreadnoughts in our territorial waters already. Right. I don't even know what I have at display because remember, a lot of our fleet is in reserve. Here's that these are all destroyers. Sure hope the enemy doesn't have a really strong force to bring to bear against us. Let's see. Speed up to, holy crap, my new destroyer class can make 34 knots. Quite a few enemy ships over here, though. Do all appear to be destroyers, though. Several of ours are falling out of line. I don't really remember our destroyer class. I feel like it was very heavy on torpedoes, but I don't really recall if it was something that would have much in the way of guns. Alright, so we sank 1 enemy destroyer. The rest of theirs are probably escaping. Is that one of ours? Well, we're not shooting at it, so presumably it's one of ours. Unknown ship spotted. Alright, let's turn back north. This battle seems to be going our way. I don't really feel like chasing them into Kingdom Come, though. It's like ants chasing around something. Do you want to detach her? Yes. Alright, one of our destroyers is dead in the water. Might be sinking, not sure. Alright, turn around. Ultra fast. Let's end this battle. Obviously a lot of damage on both sides. Remember, these destroyers of ours are like 1,500 tons. So we won a minor victory. No ships sunk. They lost 1 destroyer. We lost nothing. They didn't damage our convoy at all, so that's good. A very minor victory to start the war. And now the Pride of the South is obsolete. Damn. All right, we've got to bring everything into the active fleet. Means no money. We'll probably have to halt the furthest away of the Pride of the South, so we have an operating budget for this war. We'll go ahead and send all these minesweepers, the few that we have, into coastal patrol. Just 6. We need 25 ships there, too. So we are going to have to send some destroyers into coastal action. We'll send the J Street, the obsolete destroyer. Sorry, J Street, but some of your vessels are going to have to be stuck in coastal patrols. I suppose we'll send some of our Midlageville class ships. Again, the things that are obsolete that aren't going to really serve in the battle line, those will go into the coastal patrol. At least until I get more vessels ready. Rappahannock, we're going to put you as a raider. We're also going to have 3 of the new Hausers as raiders. That's what they were built for, but I also need to kind of balance the needs of the fleet against the needs of raiding parties. I'm also going to go ahead and design a new minesweeper. So design. Save. And we're going to build 10 of these things. It's going to cost $1 million a pop. We really need 15 though, so maybe we build 20. Just so we can get our coastal patrol situation in good shape. So that's going to put us in the pretty far into the red. We're also going to switch sub rules to unrestricted. Our very advanced submarine fleet should have a field day with French shipping. And yeah, so I think that's where we're at. I guess we'll send a 4th to become a raider. My goal here is I don't think there's any way I'm going to beat the French in a stand-up fight, so avoid as many stand-up fights as we can, and then what we can do is we can hopefully beat them through a commerce strategy. So that's where we're at right now, and we'll go ahead and move forward a month. Shell dies. Hey, we sank an enemy destroyer with our submarine. Okay. Great. Neutral nations are outraged. Well, let's see how much that increases tensions. I don't want to go to war with Japan and the U.S. as well. Our subs sank 24 ships. Wow, we did lose 2 subs, but we sank 24 ships for 120 victory points. They damaged our dreadnought. Enemy subs sink 3 ships. Our raider sinks an enemy. That was a phenomenal first month. 24 ships, 120 victory points. Get alt construction on this. We damaged a French dreadnought with a submarine. We sank 26 more ships for 130 victory points, and 2 of our subs were sunk. We sank 3 enemy submarines. Meanwhile, our raider McRae has sunk 3 for 15. Muskogee 3 for 15. So the Neuhauser class also contributed 6 merchant ships and 30 victory points in that last turn alone. Okay, the first of the Lightning Dragons is almost ready. See, our budget is in a little bit better shape. I feel like we should be building more submarines, however, to compensate for our losses. We've already lost 4 subs. That's almost 10% of our submarine fleet. Go ahead and build 10 more of these. I'm actually going to build 20 more subs. It'll take a while for them to come into service, but Lightning Dragon's commissioned into speed. It's found that the ship is easily surpassing design speed. All right, the Lightning Dragon, an extra knot of speed over design speeds. Good job to you, sir. Our submarine is torpedoed and damaged a French battlecruiser. All right, there you go. 14 more ships, 70 more victory points, although we did lose 3 subs sunk. So the enemy is not fighting us in stand-up fights, and our commerce rating is going well, I think. Germany's stolen technology from us. I'll take the prestige hit. I don't want to piss off another country and get to another one. Our subs are losing some effectiveness, though, now. Only 7 ships for 35 victory points. Our Neuhausers aren't doing as well as I would have hoped. The Army wants more resources for an offensive. The Navy, sure, we can get by with a little bit less. A few months. 13, all right, so the ebbs and flows of the submarine war. 13 more merchant ships, 65 victory points. I don't really care about the design speed of the minesweepers. All right, so they're coming into service. Lightning Dragon has officially entered the fleet. French minesweeper and a French light cruiser sunk by our submarines. A French destroyer sunk by our submarines. 17 more ships, 85 more victory points. We are losing our fleet, though. 4 more subs sunk. French raider. This claims we should have the advantage in terms of the size of the battle fleet. They decline the battle. It gives us 90 more victory points. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here. We're getting a whole bunch of minesweepers that are working up, so we'll have to wait a few more months for those to be ready. Meanwhile, you can see here our submarine fleet. We've got a whole bunch of additional subs coming online. 20 more are being built. The French are building 11. We're building 20. We've got 36 left, which means we've lost 14. Lost more than 20% of our submarine fleet already. More minesweepers coming off the ways. 4 subs sunk, yikes. I really was hoping to see something about, like, the French people being pissed off about all this commerce. With our fleet firmly in control of the waters in the Caribbean, our troops have invaded the French possession of the Dominican Republic. And our army offensive has turned into a bloody stalemate. Meanwhile, the James Longstreet has completed. Enemy submarine sunk our minesweeper in a spirited gun duel. Muskogee, the Bayou City, doing some damage. The British finally get involved, and they sank a French dreadnought. Awesome! Coastal battle in support of land combat. French Navy declines the battle. French Navy declines the battle. All right, so another convoy defense. Apparently, maybe not, because we've got battleships. Good lord. All right, let's move at 20 knots, I guess. Unknown ship spotted where? Why do we have battle cruisers in a convoy battle? I really hope the enemy's not bringing battle cruisers out to play to raid our convoys. Does look like a Lille class battle cruiser. Means we need to speed the fuck up and get up to battle speed. Now the danger in these fights also is, remember how goddamn devastating torpedoes are at this point. So the enemy, if they launch a torpedo spread, could well do some serious damage to our fleet. Destroyers can now much more easily destroy enemy battleships. The Lille is turning to run. We're chasing. We're scoring a few hits. You can see little red dots appearing on the Lille occasionally. I don't have a good view of if we're getting hit too. Presumably we are. But you can see we're gaining on it slightly. The enemy destroyers are on the opposite side, so I'm going to turn away. God damn it. Sumter's hit by a torpedo, or at least that's what intelligence says. Meanwhile, our destroyers are destroying an enemy destroyer that was hit by something. The Lille blows up. Its magazine was hit. We're going to slow our battle cruisers down a bit. Because I'm assuming if there's damage, then slowing down will help protect us. Now, we may be getting over pens or things like that. I'm not sure. This other enemy destroyer appears to be sinking, or at least dead in the water. I don't want to get too close. Fear of being hit by an enemy torpedo. Alright, so we sank 2 enemy destroyers and a battlecruiser. Now my only hope is that my own ships are not too badly damaged. We're going to go into Guantanamo Bay. I think 1 enemy destroyer escaped, but I'm going to assume that our merchants are out of harm's way. Alright, so we may have lost we lost a destroyer sunk by an enemy sub after the fact. 1 battlecruiser was heavily damaged, but the French lost 1 sunk. They also lost 2 destroyers. So 1 destroyer versus 2 destroyers and a battlecruiser, that is a victory for sure. And 4,000 victory points versus 1,300 for them. We gain 2 prestige and get a major victory. She blew up! The dumbest name ever for a battle, but I'm going to call it that. The Lille blew up, and our prestige is at 40. We are winning this war handily. We also now have researched 16-inch guns of quality 1. We damaged a French battleship with submarines. Our submarines sank 14 more ships for 70 more victory points. Battle in support of land combat near the Dominican Republic. The enemy has a very small force in the area. I'm surprised they're actually fighting this thing. Granted, we're bringing the Stuart to play. So, man, these battle cruisers are in every action. I still haven't, I guess my heavy cruisers are mostly on commerce ratings. Maybe that's why I haven't. All right, we need to destroy a land target. Where exactly this land target is, I don't know. Where is the enemy? All right, so the enemy facility is here that we need to bombard. I don't know what that is. Really a transport. Let's go sink the damn thing. We've got 2 destroyers escorting us, which seems like insufficient escorts. But let's go sink this enemy transport. Single hit. Another enemy ship spotted. Range. More enemy ships spotted. All right. So we'll turn this way. Assuming we'll just shoot at this thing on our own, I would think it's in range. There's an enemy destroyer coming up behind. That isn't. Oh, that would be ours. So we're spending time shooting at these guys who are kind of sheltering in the mined area, potentially mined area. Appears to be an enemy light cruiser. Destroyer. Don't think the game lets me venture into the suspected enemy minefield. Like if I do it, if I tell them to go this way, they won't. So that's what confuses me, is how do I order the firing on this enemy target? I can't. Doesn't even let me target the land target. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I don't want to, like, run into a minefield if I don't have to, but on the flip side of that is I don't want to fail this mission just because. Guess that's what I have to do because there's a minefield that's going to prevent me from doing anything. Alright, ultra fast, we'll sail Come sail away with me into the night. Hopefully that's good enough to still win the battle. Like they're kind of shooting up one of the ships there. Marginal Confederate victory. Alright, so our budget's actually in better shape now that those other ships are completed, so we'll go ahead and resume both of these. We have 30 million in the bank, too, so let's go ahead and build 10 more of these medium-ranged subs. I mean, I understand why the game doesn't want you going closer to ports, but it should give you the option at least. 5 more ships for 25 victory points. They did the same thing. Longstreet's finished working up. So we're pissing off more countries by sinking more large merchant liners. Battle in the Dominican Republic in support of land combat. Another battle. This one involving a light cruiser. We'll see what the French bring to bear. Speed up. I think this is one of our new heavy cruiser or light cruisers. Patrick Henry is of the Shenandoah class. It is one of our new light cruisers. There's quite a few enemy ships up here. Like the enemy has a light cruiser of their own. A little bit larger than mine. And Patrick Henry's getting hit pretty hard. Oh shit. Wait. The Shenandoah's come to the rescue. Oh, and 2 more light cruisers that are... All of these cruisers up here are not in my command, by the way. They're all AI vessels. So the enemy appears to have lost steerage way. Gone in circles, and now he's sunk. Huzzah! So the Patrick Henry definitely suffered some damage. We sank an enemy light cruiser. And AI light cruisers are off chasing enemy destroyers. All right. So now what? All right, ultra fast. Maybe the other light cruisers found some stuff and sank it. I don't know. Or shooting going on. I can't see because they're vessels outside my command. That's the other confusing thing in this game is it's like, aren't I the ultimate? No, the Patrick Henry! Patrick Henry's sinking. I was trying to get it back to San Juan. Hopefully the other light cruisers of ours destroyed... Okay, CSA major victory. Yes, we lost a light cruiser. The enemy lost a light cruiser as well, but they also lost a bunch of damaged destroyers. Apparently we didn't sink any. But it's still a victory. More prestige for us. Our forces have taken control of the French possession of the Dominican Republic. The enemy sounded us about a negotiated peace with us gaining disputed border territories. We can secure even better terms if we crush them completely. Thank you. Minesweeper, another French minesweeper. We lost 1 sub sunk, but we didn't destroy any merchant ships. That's interesting. French minesweepers sunk by the British. Okay, the French... Bad day for French minesweepers. We lose a sub. Wow, 4 subs sunk that turn. Alright, another convoy defense. This time all destroyers on our end. Vessels spotted. Sail toward them. I probably should pull some of my heavy cruisers off raiding duty. They don't seem to be doing too much. Not anywhere near what our subs are doing. Right. So destroyers killing destroyers. They've got 2 destroyers dead in the water. More or less dead in the water. Just waiting for them to sink. Surprised none of the torpedoes have hit. It did kind of abandon my convoy, though, so hopefully that was the right move. All right, that thing's done. Took a torpedo. Surprised he hasn't sunk yet. All right, now he's sunk. Okay, so the Charles Morris is pretty badly damaged. We did sink 2 of their destroyers, though. We're engaging a 3rd up here in the north. The Ornifama class. The Charles Conrad is chasing her valiantly all by itself. I think it's all out of ammo, though. I think it still has a few shells, maybe on the rear magazine. It only got into action when we got a certain angle on it. Less than 20% of its main ammo is remaining. Where's the rest of my destroyer flotilla? Come on, guys. There you go. Score some hits. Just such a funny thing. Like, I'm the fleet admiral and I'm having destroyers chase around. And I mean, this is okay. The core of this game in my mind is building your navy and the fleet actions. And these wars kind of unfolding in the way that they do is kind of silly. It can be entertaining and fun at times. I enjoy a occasional convoy duty or gun barrage on coastal targets. I think that's telling. I mean, it's certainly was something that happened a lot early in the war, with the Germans sending, large formations against the British coast to try and draw the British Navy out for battle. So in that sense, it's, certainly not outrageous, and it can be fun to play. It's just the way that you end up having like 40 of these small battles, I think ends up taking a little bit of the immersion factor away from a game that's trying to be authentic. I don't really care about immersion when you're talking about a game that really has no desire to be like historically accurate. All it's doing is giving you like a minor flavor of a particular topic. That I don't really care about. But in a game where it really is trying to model naval combat, I think, in this era, for wars to unfold the way they do seems, again, in my mind, a little bit silly. Hey, we've got multiple destroyers out of ammo here. How's this French destroyer not sinking yet? Or at least, like, dead in the water? Alright, I guess we'll just salute him then. Sail away to the Guantanamo Bay or whatever, because the rest of my destroyers apparently are not interested in fighting. Alright, so major Confederate victory, no ships sunk. The French lost 3 destroyers. Their destroyer flotilla has to be taking quite a bit of punishing here. They're down to 27 DDs. I think they started with several more. Obviously they did. Their subforce is down to 17. We have 27 still, with 30 building. Let's pull this guy back into the active fleet. Oh, put these guys on rate, given their obsolete light cruiser. I've got all these mine sweepers for coastal patrol. Puts me way over the criteria. Let's pull The destroyers back into the active fleet. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for episode number 14 of my Rule the Waves Let's Play series. It wouldn't be a Let's Play Confederate Rule the Waves series for me if I wasn't at war with France, and we've started another one, or gotten involved in another one. So far, the war's going really well. The best start of any war with the French so far for us, with an 8,000 to 3,000 victory point lead. We'll see if we can maintain that. The French Navy is overwhelmingly powerful, so we'll see how things play out in our next video. But with that being said, no real need to elaborate beyond that. Another war with the French. What else is new? And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying, as always, thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm dumb. Okay, that's enough. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm out.